making this video public, but it's not actually for everybody. This video is actually just for Quinn and Tucker, and if you want to watch it, you can watch it, but it really is just for them. And the reason I'm making it public is because right now they're too young and they don't have the password or know how to log in to my YouTube account. These last few months have been really interesting and kind of scary. My mortality has really been thrown in my face a few different times. I've had 4 or 5 big things that have really reminded me about how short life is. So I've had these major events happen kind of one after another. Everybody knows I'm a high school teacher, and so that Parkland shooting a couple months ago really affected me. And I almost tried not to let it, but it was impossible not to, because you're scrolling through social media and I see these images of these kids, these students that remind me of my students who are so eloquent and bold and brave and speaking their truths and not being deterred. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. I wonder how many of my kids would be capable of taking the mic like that and being confident like that. We had the walkout at school because of that, and the majority of our students participated. I only had one student not participate in that in my classroom, and that was not because he didn't believe in the cause. It was because he was having a hard day, I think. That kind of started this little snowball effect, because shortly after that happened, all of a sudden one night, in the middle of the night at 4 in the morning, I woke up hearing these sobs and crying, and I looked around at the room and everything was a red and blue flashing lights. And I looked out the window and they were about 25 police cars lying down the road, and I could hear this crying. And come to find out, right across the street there was a shooting and 3 people were shot, and the gunman went running through my neighborhood and was caught behind my neighborhood. It was interesting. There were crime unit labs set up, and kind of watching the Forensic Files episode right before my eyes with those little yellow cards being set up, and just how close to home that hit, and how just one night, like on a Tuesday in the middle of the night, something like this could happen. And then, I drop my kids off one day and drive back in the snow, and the car in front of me spins out and slides into me, and the car behind me hit me, and then the car behind him hit him, who hit me again, and I just ended up being in this 4-car pileup in the middle of the freeway, and it's snowing, and we're getting out of the cars. We don't know what to do, and the other cars are trying to swerve to not hit us, and it was terrifying. Totaled my car. Had to get a new car. And in that moment, I was like, oh, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. You have that fear. And then on top of that, then we actually had a school shooting. I was at school one day. We had a soft lockdown drill because there was shooting on the outside of the building. And then we went into a hard lockdown drill because the kids in the building didn't understand the new procedures we'd come up with after the Parkland shooting. And they had heard the announcements and panicked, and happened during lunch, so it was just mad chaos of the kids running around. And they went out to the car dealership that's behind our high school and told the sellers there that there was a shooter in the building, and they called 911, and it was just a mess. Anyway, the whole thing is, I just keep having these things happen that keeps reminding me how short life is, and I started to have this fear and nightmares about if I die. And I know that's really macabre, but if I die, my kids are so young, I don't know if they're going to remember much about me and our relationship and our family. I thought about, quite honestly, I don't know if they would ever hear a nice word about me again. And I started to really be afraid of dying because of my kids not being able to remember and know how much I cared about them. And I was talking to a friend of mine about that. She kind of laughed and said, Candace, you have nothing to worry about. You have left a Bigfoot-size imprint on social media that is going to be very clear to your kids how much you care and love about them. And I thought, yeah, you're right, I have. No matter what, they're gonna have this archive of our lives together. And I was really grateful for that. Thank goodness, And then I thought, I wanna make a video just for them, just because you never know. I mean, hopefully nothing happens and we get to live our lives together and everything's wonderful. But if anything happened, there are things, Quinn and Tucker, that I need you to know. So this video is just for the kids. It's for Quinn, you, bright little beautiful star you, and it's for Tucker, you heart that just beats outside of my chest. So this video is for you two. I just need you to be able to hear, if you need to, on repeat over and over and over again, if on days that you are having a hard day. I always wanted to be a mom. I always wanted to be a mom. When I was a little girl, I used to come up with names, and I actually made scrapbook pages. I couldn't wait to be a mom. And I wanted a girl. When I was young, my sister was kind of questioning her faith, and she knew how much I wanted a little girl. And she said, if Candace has a girl first, God is real. She thought I was a good person, and that if anything, I deserved that little girl I've been wanting my whole life. And Quinn, you are that little girl I've wanted my whole life. My whole life. You are exactly what I wanted. Everything about you. The minute I had heard you were a girl, I felt like I already knew you. And I did. I swear I did. You're exactly what I wanted. I had this image growing up that I wanted like a sweet, sassy, bold, confident little girl. And you are all of those things. You are everything I ever wanted. You're such a people pleaser, and yet you're confident at the same time, and you know what you want, and you know how to get what you want. And you tell these stories where we have this routine every single night, and I love it. Me and you and Tucker all sit together and read a book every night before bed. And then I leave you in your room, and then I go in and I take Tucker to bed, and I sing him a song. I always try to sing him 1 or 2 songs, but he always makes me sing a million songs, and you wait patiently, and then we come back and close the door and we talk. You come up with these funny stories, and we make up these stories, and we keep adding to it every single night. And it's funny every time. You are so wonderful, and I have such big dreams for you. I just imagine you going off and conquering the world, and even if you don't, no matter what, kid, there is nothing you could do to make me not love you. No matter what happens in life, good or bad, I want you to know that I'm proud of you, because I already know the kind of person you are, and I already see your character. You are kind. You are so smart. You remember everything. Sometimes you remember things I don't want you to remember. I love you, man. I love you. You love horses. Right now you're on a unicorn kick.
Unicorn!
And mermaids, and you really want to have a unicorn mermaid birthday party. You've been talking about it forever this year. And I thought, how am I going to make... Tucker wants a T-Rex birthday party, right? So like, how am I going to make a T-Rex? Because I want to combine them this year. So how do I make a T-Rex and a unicorn and a mermaid birthday party? Like, what colors could I use? How could I theme that together? And then I had this moment where I thought, I'm going to do a party about all the animals that got kicked off of Noah's Ark. It's stupid, but we're going to do it, and it's going to be glorious, and I can't wait. I'm going to go all out this year. I am all about birthdays. I just love celebrating you. And I know some people are like, oh, what about kids these days? They're getting so spoiled and entitled, and what is it? Their parents are giving them presents on every single holiday. They get St. Patrick's Day presents, and they get Easter presents and Valentine's Day presents. And I'm like, yeah, why would you treat it like another Tuesday? Gosh, my kids are going to be little for so long. As long as you stay good-hearted people, then I see nothing bad about celebrating the fact that you're in my life. Gosh, I love having kids. I always wanted to be a mom. What else could I say about Quinn? You just mean the world to me. You do. And I love how similar we look. I love when you give a certain look and I recognize that look from the mirror. You know, a lot of people say that we look alike, and it's just such a huge compliment to me. Now, Tucker, you know, I talk about Quinn, that you are everything I ever wanted, and you are. Tucker, you are everything that I didn't know I needed. In some ways, you have the second kid as a gift to the first kid. That you love your first kid so much, you want them to have a sibling, you want them to have a brother or a sister. And that was kind of the case for me anyway. I was excited about having Quinn get a gift to a brother or a sister to spend her life with. And I love that we did that. I feel so grateful that we did that, because now you're just together all the time and you're best friends. And no matter whether you're at daycare or my house or your other family's house, like, you always have each other, which I'm grateful for. So in some ways, Tucker's always been a gift for Quinn. But man, Quinn was everything I ever wanted, but Tucker is everything that I didn't know I needed. Tucker is such a mama's boy, and I love it. Everywhere we go, that boy clings to me, wants me to show him things. You know, Quinn will dash off and an adventure and come back and tell me about it. But Tucker just stays close to me. Tucker has a lot of heart, I can tell already. He knows he's beautiful too, and he's super charming about it. He'll give you a certain look. And he does this thing where he talks out of the side of his mouth. He does this like, wah, wah thing sometimes. I can't even do it. It's so cute though. Sometimes I feel like he's my own heart beating outside of my chest. He's hard to share. Quinn's easy to share. I like watching her interact with the world, but Tucker's hard for me to share. He's like my sacred thing, you know? One thing about Tucker is that he's a lot like me, and he gets obsessed with things, and I do that. I mean, I'm so obsessed with the X-Files and Gillian Anderson, and that lasted through college, and I watched it religiously, and then it got rebooted and came back, and I'm still just a die-hard, obsessed, ridiculous fan. And I always have this like attachment to something, and I can tell Tucker does that too. Right now, his thing is ninjas.
What is it? Ninjas!
And Lego ninjas and Power Rangers. And in the beginning, I thought, no, we probably should tone this down. It's violent. I don't want to teach my kid violence. But man, that kid loves it. And the heart wants what it wants. And I'm not going to stop you from loving ninjas. All right, you love ninjas? Then let's do this. Ninja, everything. We're going to get you into karate, teach you taekwondo. We're going to buy you outfits and run around and play as long as it's still playing and you're not hurting your sister, which you have been much better at. But shoot, dude, let's do it. And I think it's so cute. Ninja, ninja, ninjago. He just knows everything. Black Ranger, Pink Ranger. I told you before that every single night I read the kids a book, then I go in and sing some songs to Tucker, and then I come back. And from when he was a baby, I sang him, "You Are My Sunshine," just the first verse. And every time I get to the end, he yells, "More sunshine, more sunshine, more sunshine." So I always sing that same song 2 or 3 times. And then one night I finished singing "You Are My Sunshine," and he said, "Go, go, Power Ranger." And then I sing him, "Go, go, Power Rangers, na, 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 go, go, Power Rangers." And he does it with me, na, 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 go, go, Ranger, go, go, Ranger, mighty Morphin Power Rangers, more Ranger, more Ranger. So then I sing "Go, go, Power Rangers" to him over and over again, and I don't even care. It's so cute, and he just holds my hand. He's got his little Power Ranger dolls, and he curls up to them and falls asleep. So freaking cute. Oh, he's so cute. One thing, Tucker, about you is Quinn is so talkative and chatty and demands a lot of attention. And I give her a lot of attention. But when there are times when she's kind of off doing her own thing and there's a shift where I can tell, you can tell. And there's a moment when we kind of look at each other and it's just the two of us and you light up. You get so excited for one-on-one time. In our family, I always feel like I'm the foundation of our little threesome, and Quinn is the star, and Tucker, you're the heart of our family. I wanted you so that Quinn would have a buddy, and instead I got myself a buddy. One thing that I've noticed that I think is really sweet is Quinn, Tucker, and I, all of us, have this squint in our eye when we smile. Tucker is really obvious, especially. And I think about how sweet that is. We all have this little quirk and this little squint in our eye when we smile. And, I think about if anything did happen and you miss me or you wish I was there, I think about wanting you to look in the mirror and smile at yourself and see that little squint and know that that is me winking at you, kid. You are always going to be part of me, and I'm always going to be part of you. And I'm so lucky because you guys are all I ever wanted in life. Whatever you want to do, I'm on board with you. You get to pick the type of person you're going to become, the type of future you're going to have, and the type of love that you want to bring to the world. I hope I get to be here as long as possible to see all of your goals come into fruition. And as much as I know we're going to have tragedies and difficulties, and we do every couple days, I feel like there's something difficult that we deal with, and yet, we're still here, and we're tough, and we're getting tougher. It's one thing I can say. I always wanted you. That's the only thing I ever really wanted in life was you. And my life can never be a failure because you exist. Like, how cool is that? I love you. Will always love you. There's nothing you could do to make me stop loving you.